Episode 9 is set to end the Skywalker saga and the sequel trilogy itself by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one angle of Star Wars that will be explored in this movie has all to do with the characters of Kylo Ren and Rey and their new interactions in this movie by J.J. Abrams and Chris, and exactly what they will be doing with those characters is a big question open on the table for discussion, right? It is a big question exactly what's going to happen to Kylo Ren and what's going to happen to Rey in this film. Now, we also know that J.J. Abrams will be exploring other angles of the Star Wars franchise that have never been explored before in, of course, the Skywalker saga and in history within the Star Wars movies. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and what's really interesting about one piece of the second act of Star Wars Episode 9 has all to do with the origins of the dark side and how it will be used in the storytelling of this movie. Now, what's really intriguing is that it's described that one aspect of Episode 9 that is said to be very important by director J.J. Abrams is to introduce the origins of the dark side of the Force. It's said that the origins of the dark side will be used in a way to make big connections and teases of the upcoming Star Wars trilogy by the creators of Game of Thrones, David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, to lightly and loosely tie the Skywalker saga to the new saga. Additionally, it's described that the origins of the dark side will be used to evolve the character of Kylo Ren into a darker figure in the second act of the film, where this truth will also carry saga-wide implications. It's said that this part of the story will be unveiled in the second act during Kylo's travels to the Dark Spire in the film. These origins will also be used to introduce new Sith Lords into the Disney canon that fans have never seen or heard of before. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this. Now, the origins of the dark side will be explored in this movie, like I say, in order to really introduce the new Star Wars trilogy lightly in Episode 9. And honestly, I think that's a really good move because we actually have been hearing a lot of these reports about the new trilogy being based within the Old Republic era. And you can only imagine why Disney and Lucasfilm would really want to tap into the origins of the dark side as a way to really kind of just loosely connect it to the new trilogy that is likely to actually come out for the first movie, of course, in 2021. Now, the other thing is that it will also be used in a way in order to evolve the characters of Kylo Ren in this film during his travels to the Dark Spire. Now, what's really interesting about the Dark Spire is that it actually does hold the certain truth of the dark side of the Force, and the origins of the dark side in this movie will also be used in a way in order to introduce new Sith Lords into the Disney canon. So that could be in the form of books, novels, comics, you name it. And this movie really has a lot going for it. So the origins of the dark side really seems like it's going to be a big deal in the second act of the film, which usually is in or around, I would have to say, an hour plus into the movie, give or take. So with that being said, we do know that Kylo Ren is going to be utilized in a specific way where he's going to be taken down a far darker path in this movie, all thanks to the Dark Spire in Episode 9. Now, the Dark Spire is basically Kylo Ren's quest in the film with his Knights of Ren in order to seek out new truths about the origins of the Force, the dark side, and everything related to the ancient Sith. And not only that, this whole entire adventure between Kylo and his knights is going to be used as an inversion to Rey's travels, of course, to the Lost City within the second act of the film also. So, guys, we are just 3 days away from Star Wars Celebration, 4 days away precisely from, of course, the official teaser trailer reveal and the title reveal of this movie. And I'm really curious on exactly what the title of this film is really going to be. We do know one thing about the title, is that it is going to be connected to the evolving MacGuffin in the story. The MacGuffin is a plot device that is used to move the characters throughout the film from start to finish. So the fact that the title will be based off of that plot device, it really does raise a lot of questions as to what the title is really going to be for Episode 9. Nonetheless, we will find out as early as this Friday, and I cannot be more excited. So, one more thing that I do want to touch on is, of course, the Dark Spire and how it's really connected to the dark side of the Force and holds all these different origins. In case you guys did not know, this place has been around for thousands of years and was indeed the location of many different Sith and Jedi wars that happened thousands of years prior to the events of course, the sequel trilogy, the originals, and even the prequels. Now, do I think that this is a risk of exploring the origins of the dark side and really explaining it in great detail by JJ? Because let's face it, there is always a chance that JJ may not handle it correctly and it may not sit well with a lot of fans around the world, and it could change the Skywalker saga. You know, not for the better, but for the worse. That's a huge fear among many Star Wars fans right now, is of course whether or not there will be too many changes within Episode 9, and basically too many decisions that will be made for this movie that will have negative, reflections on the past Skywalker saga movies. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again. No.